If anomalous humanoids created a society similar to that of humans, then SCP-2396 would lead its feminist movement. The object would have definitely become a bastion of man-hating. It even has a suitable name, Ms. Sweetie. The movement's motto could be SCP-2396's saying that it's good to have boys and unicorns that you can not only play with, but eat too. The object's anomalous properties would provide the movement supporters with a male-free space within a 6-kilometer radius. Hello, guys and girls. As always, Detective Void here, along with my story about a new SCP object. I dedicate it to the beautiful ladies out there, because it's about the fun and dangerous Ms. Sweetie, aka SCP-2396. The creature was the reason for the deaths of many people, just because they were men. Over time, the Foundation has managed to take control of Ms. Sweetie's abnormal powers. Now it no longer gets the chance to eat candy boys. SCP-2396 is a humanoid creature, practically identical to an Earthwoman. The object's external features are pink hair and pink irises. Ms. Sweetie is also significantly larger than the average woman. It's 2.5 meters tall and weighs 101 kilograms. The object only poses a danger to men. Immediately after its discovery, the creature was classified as Keter and put into a temporary holding area. SCP-2396 didn't get its name by accident. It needs a constant intake of sugar or sugary foods. Despite the fact that it eats normal food, it doesn't need to go to the restroom. Processes of digestion and waste product disposal are not mentioned in Foundation documents. Miss Sweetie doesn't get better regardless of the number of goodies it eats. A lack of sugar in SCP-2396's diet leads to severe headaches and visual impairment. Scientists attribute this feature to a critically high level of glucose in the creature's blood plasma, hyperglycemia. It generally stays around a level of 400 milligrams per deciliter. In healthy people without diabetes, 140 milligrams per deciliter is the average. A lack of sweets in the object's diet leads to a drop in blood sugar levels, but it immediately trends toward the maximum level of consuming even after a minimal amount of sugar. SCP-2396's anomalous properties manifest only in men. All men within a radius of 46 meters from Miss Sweetie try to move as far away from it as they can as quickly as possible. Direct contact with the object can be fatal, after which the victim has a kind of diabetic coma. This property is, so to speak, built into SCP-2396 by default. It doesn't show aggression towards men and doesn't control its deadly effect, but says that it helps to keep nasty brothers and their friends at a distance. Immediately after discovery, a temporary containment area was set up for SCP-2396. Only female Foundation staff were allowed to attend it. A task force was also formed, without a single man. The object was provided with 1 liter of sugar syrup per day. While scientists were looking for a way to neutralize the object's anomalous properties, the territory within the 6-kilometer radius was patrolled by members of the Containment Task Force Lambda-6, the Girly Girls. Their assignment was to remove any civilian in Ms. Sweetie's area of effect, as well as to neutralize SCP-2396-A and 2396-B. The first are objects that resemble colorful candies. They're made of simple sugars and randomly appear within the 6-kilometer radius around the creature. When Miss Sweetie is in a bad mood, the number of SCP-2396-A instances increase. More of them tend to appear in places with high concentrations of people. The candies are absolutely harmless to women. In the event that a man comes into contact with the candy, irreversible transformations begin in his body. First, his blood sugar level rises, sometimes exceeding 600 milligrams per deciliter. Such a spike of blood sugar often leads to the victim's paralysis. Then, all the components of his body, bones, muscles, and even blood turn into candy, under the influence of unknown forces. This process takes 12 hours from the moment of contact. The Candy Boys are designated as SCP-2396-B. Most often they take the form of large humanoids, but sometimes they transform into unicorns. Since the moment Ms. Sweetie was placed into temporary containment, all emerging instances of 2396-B have tried to free their creator. These entities attack any male person they come across and have significant strength and durability. Meanwhile, all of the candy creatures follow the orders of any woman. Foundation staff use this property to order the entities to surrender. They're neutralized through melting with flamethrowers or in furnaces. SCP-2396's temporary containment was carried out in an area accessible to civilians, so the spread of anomalous candies led to the transformation of a large number of men. Their disappearance was explained by the Foundation's standard Lost Hiker cover story. All witnesses to the object's existence or its anomalous powers who hadn't succumbed to transformation were treated with Class B amnestics. In the course of studying Ms. Sweetie, it turned out that the manifestation of its anomalous effect could be stopped. After 48 hours without sugar, the object stops generating 2396-A instances, and their influence on men disappears. During that period, the object is observed to have a sharp drop in blood sugar, down to 10 milligrams per deciliter. It turned out that the object couldn't distinguish between states of peak increase and decrease of blood sugar, that is, between hyper and hypoglycemia, due to the similarity of the symptoms. Taking advantage of this, specialists started to feed Miss Sweetie sucralose syrup. This is a well-known sugar substitute. In it, hydrogen-oxygen groups are replaced with chlorine. Whatever the chemist did, the resulting product was 600 times sweeter than sugar. Meanwhile, it doesn't change the taste. It's safe. There are no calories in it at all, and it has a 0 glycemic index. So SCP-2396 drinks this exact sweet syrup, but can't raise its blood sugar. However, Ms. Sweetie still noticed the change in the drink's taste, calling it crappy. Now, the object is in Zone 19, in a standard chamber for humanoid forms. It doesn't show aggression and doesn't try to escape. The neutralization of its anomalous properties led to the lowering of its class from Keter to Euclid. As a precaution, all employees who come into contact with SCP-2396 are female. In addition, Foundation employees are forbidden to tell the object about the replacement of sugar with sucralose, and of the neutralization of its powers. Miss Sweetie thinks that it's still creating anomalous candies and turning men into sweets. A week after the introduction of the sugar substitute, Dr. O'Herlihy conducted an interview with SCP-2396. The object addressed the woman by name, calling her its best gal. As always, Miss Sweetie spoke cheerily and in an easygoing manner. When asked about the influence of its anomalous powers on men, it responded or replied with the words, "Boys, what are you going to do with them?" SCP-2396 was also happy to reminisce about its creator, Dr. W. In fact, the anomalous lady is part of Dr. Wondertainment's Little Misters collection. Many of them are also in containment at the Foundation. The name Ms. Sweetie, along with the manufacturer's name, is tattooed on the outside of the object's left thigh. Dr. Wondertainment's identity is still a mystery. It's also unknown whether the doctor is a real person or just a name used for the company's brand. The company is known to create anomalous amusements. Despite the fact that some of them have extremely dangerous properties, all of them are children's toys. Several Foundation specialists and related organizations believe that the creation of dangerous knickknacks is only a cover. Nevertheless, all of Dr. Wondertainment's known objects, in one way or another, actually fulfill their main function: entertainment. Putting men on the run or turning them into candy unicorns isn't exactly childish fun, but Ms. Sweetie explained the reason for this abnormal effect. It's a toy for girls, and boys really like to break their sisters' dolls. Dr. Wondertainment saw to it that this wouldn't happen again to SCP-2396. Ms. Sweetie believes that men never grow up, and that they stay boys forever, constantly trying to fight with their friends. This probably explains the aggressiveness that SCP-2396-B individuals show towards men. During the friendly interview, Dr. O'Herlihy asked why some of the affected people turn into unicorns. Ms. Sweetie replied that all little girls like unicorns, and they get bored of everything so quickly. So it's good if you can eat the boys or the unicorns when you get tired of playing with them. SCP-2396 stated that it didn't have any certificate of authenticity, but it recited the text that accompanies all the Little Misters from memory. In the instructions, the owner of the toys is encouraged to collect all the Misters and thus become Mr. Collector. Then there's a list of all the members of the limited edition collection. Notably, Miss Sweetie verbalized every punctuation mark in the list, and it read the name Mr. Lai as a long exhalation. It's also in Foundation containment, designated as SCP-2284. It's unknown as to why Sweetie signaled it out like this. I won't argue with Miss Sweetie when it says that all men are still boys, but playing with it could definitely be bad. So guys, don't hurt girls, and share your thoughts on SCP-2396 in the comments. See you in my next video.